Hello Flosstube! Welcome back. My name is Natalia and this is my channel, OfficialMermaidsCove, where I share all of my cross-stitch projects and other crafty goodies that I'm working on. Welcome back to any returning subscribers, and if you stumbled across this channel, hopefully you will enjoy what I have to share. This is going to be my first weekly update for the month of July. So I'll just go over what I have stitched on since the last time I recorded an update. And after this, I'm hoping to record my mid-year whip parade. So if you're interested in that, feel free to subscribe, and so you can be notified when that video comes out. So we're gonna go through my works in progress, what I've worked on since last time. My stitch numbers for June, for this past week, from the end of June to first week of July, and then some haul that I've gotten from a few different stores. So we'll start with whips. I'll start with my daily stitch piece, which is this. This is my Angel of Elegance. This is a Gold Collections Dimensions kit. I'm using all the kit materials. I'm trying to stitch on this a little bit every day. This is my oldest whip. I started this back in 2021. And I did not get a lot of progress on it the past few years, so I made a goal to get some daily stitching done, and that has helped a lot. So here is a picture of where you saw it last time, and here is where it's at now, and it's still in the case now. I haven't taken it out. So I have stitched more on the, if you look at this picture, sorry, I bumped the camera. I've stitched the bottom right corner to like the midpoint here. Yeah, like maybe down right here. So just below the wings. So I stitched this bottom right of the dress. Now I'm working on the bottom left. We're at this part right here where you have that center filigree design that comes down to the design of the edge of the skirt. So I've been working on that. You can see here's like the center of the filigree design. So I've been trying to work more from like the right to left. I think I had started working like the very bottom row of blocks. This is a paper pattern that I put into Pattern Keeper. So according to the progress that I've been blocking off on Pattern Keeper, I am at 48.4%. And I have 15,281 stitches in so far. That does not include backstitching. As you know, Dimensions has a lot of backstitching. If I didn't mention, the fabric that came with the kit is 18 count white Aida. There is a lot of white in the skirt, so little bit by little bit, I've been making progress doing some of the white on white stitching. And as long as I get at least 100 stitches a day, I'm keeping up with the progress that I want to make. And I think at the beginning of this year, this was at 6%. And now we're already at 48%, so it's definitely making a difference. So I definitely recommend that you trying that out with any long-term whips that you might have stalled on, but you're still interested in getting a finish on or making progress on. The next whip I have was a new start that I had at the end of June. This is, I will insert a picture of what the finish will look like here. It's a chart that I bought off of Etsy. I think it was called like Stitch Love or something. I'm sure if you Google it, you would find it. But it's like a very generic cross-stitch Etsy store. And here is a picture of where you saw it last. And this is where it's at now. I am stitching this on a 14 count Aida. It's one of those like DMC bread covers that I found at a thrift store that I dyed with some red dye. And I have had a lot of progress since the last time you saw this. This is, I think it's already at 52%. And last week, I think I have my numbers here. Yeah, last week is at 14%. So I definitely got a lot of progress in on this one. I'm stitching it with 2 strands on the 14 count Aida. I'm doing a lot of the block stitching first. So this is as far as the pattern goes down here. And then at the top, if you saw the picture of the finish, it will have a row of hearts. So I haven't added any of the hearts yet, but once I finish the block stitching here, I have all this blue to fill in for his arms and then his ear. I might go ahead and move it on up so I can do some of the filling out on the hearts, and then start filling out the spaces in between the outlining. So yes, so I'm super excited about this. I'm hoping that once I finish this one, I can have a new start. And I want to start another full coverage. I'm counting this as full coverage because it kind of is. There's no back stitching or anything. It's a lot of full cross stitching to make the picture, even though the background's not filled in, because I'm not, well, it actually does have the background on the pattern, but I'm not stitching the background. So the last whip that I have to show you, I will insert a picture here. This is Sweet Summertime by Cottage Garden Samplings from their A Time for All Seasons series. This was the one for July, so good timing for me to be working on it. I don't have a picture of where you saw it last because it's been a minute since I pulled this one out, but this is where it's at now. I'm stitching out on this beautiful fabric. It's a 36 count linen, dyed by Stitch Me in the colorway Fouille Morte, and I'm stitching at 1/2, and I'm still working on that rooster. You can see right here it has like the US flag and the wing, so I started working a bit on that. And then once we get down here, I've made some alterations. I'm not going to do the border stitching that's in the pattern. I've made an alteration to this watermelon down here. It's going to be a drum, and you will see that when I get down to that. But yes, I have gotten like 100 or so stitches on this. I just pulled it out during my lunch break at work, and it's a crop versions because I'm not doing some stitching on the that's called for the design. But according to the pieces that I'm planning on stitching, from what I've calculated on Pattern Keeper, this is at 35.3%. So I definitely want to get a move on finishing the rooster so that I can start on my changes that I want to make and count that as a finish. I do have another Cottage Garden sampling chart that I want to stitch. It's like a bunny, and I have it's like a general rule of thumb that I try to do one pattern from a designer at a time, just to try to motivate me to keep progress on my ongoing whips. So we'll see how I do with that. Stitch numbers, I have updated my calendar. This is how I put some stickers. This is a calendar that I got off of the dollar store, Dollar Tree here in the US. And it's a large print one, so it's hopefully easier for you to see on the videos. I did my daily stitching on, I think, so the 4th of July, I didn't stitch on my Angel of Elegance, but I made up for it on that next Saturday. But I've been doing a lot of stitching on my Stitch Love, and I am planning on doing stitching more on my Stitch Love piece and my Angel of Elegance for the rest of the week. And I have to pick out a washi tape that I'm going to use for my Sweet Summertime, because hopefully I'll keep working on that this month as well. But yeah, when I count my winks, I count them Sunday to Saturday. So for the, what would that be? That would be June 29th to July 5th. My stitch count, I haven't written it on here yet, but I have it written down here. My stitch count from June 29th to July 5th was 9,636 stitches, so that was a ton of stitching. I'm off to a great start for my July stitching. I'm already planning some rest days. I might not end up stitching on the 19th or the 20th, but I'm hoping before those days that I'll get an opportunity to finish my stitch piece and maybe get some progress on my others before I do a new start. So those are my stitching numbers. Let's go into haul. I've gone through to 3 different places. I stopped by Goodwill. I have some things that I want to frame. So I was frame shopping. And I found a really nice gold frame for $2. Well, actually, I think my husband found this one. So this is really nice. I'm planning on framing, it was the market release from Susan at Sweet Wing Studios. I can't remember off the top of my head, but maybe I can insert a picture. But it was like, I can do all things through... No, was it Joy? Choose Joy? I think it was called Choose Joy. But I'm planning on framing that in here for my mother-in-law. Excuse me, I'm trying to accommodate things. This, I'm planning on taking this out. I'm going to frame one of my smaller mermaids that I finished, my first Filipina treasure that I finished in here. It's a nice square frame and the pattern will fit nicely in here. I think this might have been, no, I think I found this one and that's with $3 at Goodwill. So, happy with that. This was a bonus frame, but it was like a very nice edging design and I think it would work really well for some patterns that I have coming out in the future. And it's a nice square shape. And I got that for $2 at Goodwill. And then my husband found this one. This one I was planning, it's like a white frame. It's pretty big. I don't know if I'm gonna get it all in the video. But I'm gonna take this out. The backs, this frame was $6 because of the size. But the back is one where I can just take all this stuff. It's stapled in because I peeked at one of these corners here, where I kind of looked, it was already kind of torn. So I'm going to take this backing paper off. I'm going to take the staples off. I'm going to take the picture that's in there out. It's got hanging hardware, but what I'm probably going to end up having to do is get a custom mat from Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I'm going to probably lace the cross stitch first onto foam board that I also picked up, and then take the baseboard out of the frame and have my husband probably take it to Hobby Lobby one of these days and pick out the mat that he wants for it and have them cut it out around the design. They should be able to help him with that. So that was Goodwill. The next place was Hobby Lobby. I did stop by there to get foam core board, which I think, I mean, I don't think I have to show that to you. It's just a white board that I use for framing. And I don't, honestly, I got a really big piece to use for multiple, to frame multiple pieces, so I don't think it's all gonna fit in the camera. But I did grab some other things while I was there. I have like bags around me. 1 second. Okay. So they had some of the needles on clearance. They had like this package of chenille needles that are like color coded for the different sizes for $112. But then I found a pack of the tapestry needles like that. So I really like this. I'm gonna toss this into one of my like little pouches that I keep stitching accessories in that I can throw in with my project bags. So I was happy to get that for $1.12. They had their bead strands at 50% off. So I got this one. This was on clearance. Pretty flower beads. I can either use that on some fancy ladies because they're flat enough in my opinion, or as flat as like other treasures are. Or I could even use it, you know, to make scissor fobs or counting pins. Those were cute. There's were these really small, really sparkly beads. So it was like $2.50 for 4 strands of these. A lot of beads there. And then I found this. I cannot believe that they had this. I've never seen something like this there before. I got this for like $3.75. There's this whole strand of these beautiful flowers, and they're already on like these, you know, pins with the ball end and loops at the end. So I could use these for scissor fobs or pins if I wanted to take the pin out. And they have like leaves too, and there's so many in one strand, and they're so pretty. Like, it's nice. These are all glass. They look really, really pretty. I was so happy to find that. So yep, if you don't know, Hobby Lobby has this. It's, let me see, the product code here is 2451201. So I thought that was really nice. And those are the things I found other than the foam core board. I think I got like 2 boards of that in white that I will use for framing. That was what I got at Hobby Lobby. And then I went to my local thrift store. I forgot to mention this last time, but I got, like, when I was talking about the bread covers, I think these are bread covers too, they just don't have the edges sprayed because this is like sewed, or maybe they're supposed to be like dinner napkins or something. But they're about the same size as the one that I'm using for stitch, and there were 3 of these. You can see, like, I don't know if you can see the edging there, where it's like sewed. Like the edging here just isn't frayed out, but it's like sewed here. It's like hemmed. There was 3 pieces of this for $1. And they're like really nice big pieces. They're all Ada. Yeah, there's like 1 white and 2 cream for $1. I was very happy with that, even though I don't technically need any more fabric. But who can say no to that? I'm still building up my fabric dye stash, so they had a tie-dye kit there for $3. It's brand new though, so I just went ahead and grabbed it to support the local thrift store. And then they got a bunch of yarn in. I'm gonna try not to spend too much time on this, but I thought it was a pretty good deal. I think each of these is like $3, but this is huge. Like, look how much yarn this is. And it's really soft. It's not like what the Great Value Heart brand, Red Heart brand that Walmart has. It's like a nice soft squishy yarn. So I got one of those in green. They had one in white. They had 2 of these dark red ones. And one in a light pink. And one in black. They didn't have labels on them, just the band that the store puts around it to price it. Oh, I almost forgot. Sorry, I got these from Hobby Lobby too. They had them on clearance with like some nice gold foil feather and some poodle stickers. I have 2 poodle, they seem like they're mixed with poodles, but they're first black instead of white, but I still thought that these were super cute, so I grabbed those since those were on clearance. They had this spool of ice cream Lion brand yarn in the colorway Blueberry. Nice variegated yarn. They have this really soft velvet. Okay, so this is like, looks like it's a Mainstays yarn you can get at Walmart. So they have that for $2, and it's really furry. Oddly enough, I'm not even thinking about using this as like a yarn project. I'm thinking of using this for like trim or on pillows, because it's like a nice purpley color. So I probably end up using that for like a trim. It's really soft, but we'll see how I end up using that. They had this really pretty mermaidy, or at least reminded me of mermaid colors. It says the colorway is Hades. And it's a Woolies Lion brand for $2. Nice and squishy. Looks like it's a brand new. Haven't been used whatsoever. And they had one of that like furry, fuzzy yarn in white. Maybe it's another woolies. Maybe I could also use this for trim, or I think I have some of this in white as well. So I might just use it to make a bigger blanket or scarf or something soft. It's so soft. And then they had some washi tapes there, so I grabbed the sparkly white opalescent tape, and I got these 3 thinner, but they have like gold foil. There you go. It's like this blue swirly one, this purple polka dotted one, and this pinky brownie one, like arrowheads. To add to my washi tape collection for my calendar. And that was all my haul. I did order some silks from Most Sale. She had a grab bag sale on her Facebook page, so I'm waiting for those to come in. I think I just paid the invoice today, so those will be coming in the mail sometime later this week, and I'll be happy to share those with you when they come. So that is everything that I have worked on since this past week. I would like to still do mentions video for all the Flosstubers. I'm officially working my way through catching up on Flosstube. I think I'm like 3 to 4 weeks behind at this point, but that is an improvement from the past few weeks. I think I was like over a month behind. So slowly but surely I will catch up, and then maybe I can do a video and just shoutouts, do a bunch of shoutouts to people that I've been watching and people that I've been enjoying their content. So that if you're interested, you can go over and visit them and help grow their channels as well, and keep growing this awesome community that we have. So that's it for me today. Watch out for my mid-year whip parade. I have like 18 whips to share, and you'll see the progress that I've been making on those. And maybe you can give me some tips on the next one of my whips that I can make a focus. Okay, until next time, happy stitching. Bye.